pointless question. She already knows how worried I am, but I nod anyway, fingering the pocket-sized mirror in my hand. The mirror is a weapon and a talisman. If the Grey Lady is only visible in reflections, then I need a mirror to see her. If she's anywhere, I will know about it. I don't know what I'll do about it once I spot her, but at least she won't be able to sneak up on me again. Yeah, I try to force a smile as the nurse pushes my wheelchair down the hall. Amanda walks next to me. If you'd have met me a few weeks ago and asked what I'd be doing today, having chemotherapy would not have been my answer. I try to make my comments sound like humour, but I don't manage it. Instead, I come off sounding unbelievably sorry for myself. Eh? Amanda says, raising an eyebrow. I shrug. Well, if you'd have asked me a couple of weeks ago what I'd be doing today, I'd have said going to work, and then coming home and chilling out in the evening with TJ. Amanda nods. Who's TJ? She says. Is that your boyfriend? It's my cat, I say. Oh. Why TJ? What does it stand for? She asks as we turn into a quiet room. It's small and has several chairs pushed up against the walls, all facing into the centre. Beside each chair is a stand for a drip. I swallow the lump in my throat. Thomas Jefferson? I mumble as the nurse wheels me in next to the room's only other occupant, a middle-aged lady. You named your cat after one of the founding fathers of America? Amanda laughs. The sound of her laughter is infectious and the chemo room seems a little brighter for just a moment. Well, not just any founding father, I say. TJ was the principal author of the Declaration of Independence. I figure if anybody knows independence, it's got to be cats. I smile wider at Amanda's baffled expression. Most cats, but not TJ. He's such a wuss, he won't even go outside by himself. You didn't think maybe Tiddles or Puss or something a bit more traditional? Amanda lifts an eyebrow. I scoff. No, if I was a cat and some daft human called me Mr. Cuddle Muffin or something equally ridiculous, I would run away. As I plan on keeping TJ, he got a proper name, worthy of any dignified gentleman. Oh, ouch! I wince as the nurse fixing me up to the chemotherapy drug pulls on my cannula. Oh, sorry, the nurse mumbles. I watch as the bag of drugs, my chemotherapy, was lifted to the drip stand. This is what would make me better. There you go. The nurse smiles and moves to sort Amanda. I continue to watch the drug as it trickles down the tube into my arm. Fancy I can feel it, cold and alien under my skin, running through my veins, poisoning my body and killing my cancer. My chest tightens at the thought and I take a slow breath. This is my last one, Amanda says. She had said the same thing at least 5 times already this morning. Well, my last one is an inpatient. Next time you see me in here, you get to marvel at my wonderful fashion sense. I'm sure we will, the nurse smiles. Better than this old thing. Amanda pulls at her dressing gown. I'm getting a new one soon, for this one smells like the hospital. You're looking a little pale. The nurse turns away from Amanda and starts a proper rant regarding her dressing gown, and she looks at me. Are you feeling all right? My chest is a little tight. I rub at my chest and reach down to my oxygen mask. The nurse had clipped it to the side of my wheelchair that morning so I could reach it easily. At the time I had grumbled. It made me look even sicker. But I am already glad it's there. I place the mask over my face and the nurse turns the valve at the top of the cylinder for me. The cool, stale smell of bottled oxygen fills my nose and I flinch. It will always be the smell of a sick person to me. That and the antibacterial hand sanitizer they use here. Every time I smell it or something like it for the rest of my life, it will remind me of this. When I get home, I am going to throw out all the little bottles of the foul-smelling antibacterial goop. I will use fragrant soaps forevermore. While Amanda continues to prattle on at the nurse, now talking about her taste in jeans, I turn to the lady next to me who smiles. I think Thomas Jefferson's a good name for a cat, she says, her voice quiet and a little raspy. Thanks, I say, taking off my oxygen mask so I can speak. I don't put it down though. It was a toss-up between Thomas Jefferson and Mussolini. One of America's founding fathers or a fascist? The lady laughs. Well, I remember reading about Mussolini in history class when I was little, I say. He posed with his shirt off a lot, even when things were going wrong for him. That seemed like a cat thing to do. The lady laughs again, but those few words leave me breathless. explained to you how it works? Cheryl asked. A shrug. They had, but they'd used a lot of big words and he had spoken very quickly. I had the distinct impression I was keeping them from something else they needed to be doing. Well, chemo is a mixed blessing. It will slow the growth of cancer cells. It will even shrink tumours. But it's a drug, not a person, and it can't tell the difference between cancer cells and other types of cells, like blood cells, skin cells, and the cells inside your stomach, Cheryl explains. This means that most chemotherapy medications have a poisonous effect on the body's cells, causing problems, one of which is pain. So it helps, but it also hurts, Amanda said. I leaned back in my wheelchair. So it will hurt then. I'd hoped I'd been wrong about that. Well, if it works, I say, noticing my words are starting to slur. My arms feel heavy when I try to lift my hand and resettle my mask. The hard plastic rubs on my nose like my glasses once had when they were new and too tight. How do you know so much? Amanda asks Cheryl. Been here a long time, Cheryl says. Amanda looks awkward. Cheryl smiles wider. I worked here before I got sick. I'm actually a nurse. Oh, cool, Amanda says as I feel my eyes droop. I open my eyes to find Cheryl gone and the clock is showing that half an hour has passed. Amanda has dozed off as well and sits snoring quietly. I smile and lean back again in the chair, closing my eyes. Who knew that being sick was so exhausting? All I want to do is sleep. The breathing starts quietly. I recognize it immediately and feel my stomach clench. I open an eye and close it when no one's there. Sophie! The voice makes my chest tighten again. I hate that I'm so afraid. I have never been this afraid before. I hate myself for being so scared. The sudden spike of anger allows me to open both of my eyes. I reach to get the mirror from my pocket, but my arms are stiff. So stiff when only a little while ago they'd been fine. I look around, my eyes scanning over the reflective surfaces in the room. I see nothing. My hand eventually makes it into my pocket and I grip the mirror. My thumb pushes down on the button to release the catch and it springs open, but the force forces it out of my pocket. It lands on the floor in front of me, and I see the grey lady reflected in the mirror as she staggers forward, her whole body shaking as she moves. Why me? I say. There is no answer. Why me? I say again. Why are you doing this? Again, there is no answer. Why won't you answer me? She moves into the room, her breathing laboured and loud. She stops in the centre. I try to move, but my body doesn't respond. I open my mouth to shout, but a sudden weight clasps my chest, making it difficult to breathe. No sound escapes me. What's going on? Why can't I move? Why can't I speak? Is this her? Or am I just that scared? I'm stuck, paralysed in a wheelchair, unable to make a sound while I watch the reflection of a monster. She grins, but she does not come closer to me. Instead, she moves to Amanda. When she leaves my mirror's reflection, I look around to find her and Amanda reflected in the window. She leans over Amanda but does not touch her. Instead, her skeletal fingers settle on Amanda's IV. I watch as her hand moves through the plastic and into the liquid where it dissolves. The dissolved solution creates a black cloud in the clear IV liquid. The great lady laughs at me, not breaking eye contact as her arm moves further into the liquid bag, dissolving the same way her hand had. Her laughter gets louder and louder as more of her moves into the IV. Once she has vanished, I look at the real IV. It's still clear, only the reflection shows the blackness inside. I continue to struggle as the reflective IV shakes on the stand, the black liquid inside it moving as if it had a will of its own. The inky blackness moves rapidly through the cannula and into Amanda, who starts jerking violently. I gasp for breath as the weight on my chest vanishes. Amanda! But Amanda does not respond. She jerks again, and again. The drip crashes to the floor. The nurses come running as Amanda starts fitting.